Hello, everyone. Welcome to another evening of Beacons of Light, our highlight podcast. We are so glad that everyone is going to be here joining us tonight. Tonight, I am broadcasting from Kyle, Texas. And Rhonda, where are you from?
I am from an island in the Pacific Ocean, way up north, Ketchikan, Alaska, and I did see a humpback whale out there today.
Wow, that is awesome. That's so cool. Up in Alaska. Thank you so much for joining us. And anyone else who is popping in here tonight, please share where you're from. And let's see if we can span this whole entire globe with awesome, amazing people and comments. Speaking of comments, those of you that participate, that add to, that maybe even have questions, please share. We love to have the involvement to know how it is that it is impacting you. And for those that give great comments and questions and support, a free copy of Out of Darkness will be yours. We'll announce the winner tonight. And Miss Rhonda, you want to share your amazing gift?
I'm going to send 2 of these. April and I will choose by tomorrow at noon, Alaska time, 4 p.m. in Texas, Eastern time. No, you're
Central time.
You're Central time.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 p.m., right?
Yep.
And it will be personalized for the recipient. So I will contact you and get information about that recipient. So it can be very, very personal, a full page, encouraging, inspiring, uplifting.
Wonderful. So this book tonight, the announcement, and her 2 books tomorrow. So please go ahead and pop in anytime, share, comment. We love to have people come on in and say, hello, look, we have Wei from Arizona who is here tonight. Thank you so much. So we've got a lot in our Southwest, clear up north. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in here. Well, let's go ahead and get this party started. So, Miss Rhonda, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a mom and a wife, and I love Jesus. I've got a puppy and a kitty, and I've lived in Alaska 25 years. I love photography. I actually am a photographer, been a photographer for 20 years. And one of the passions of my life that I will never stop doing as long as I can is Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep photography, which is infant bereavement photography. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of that, but it is a gift that I can give to people who are hurting and they won't even remember me or my name a lot of times, but they'll remember how they were treated and the gift that they got. And I just think that is beautiful.
Wow, that is so impactful. That is a beautiful gift. And I know it's such a challenging time. What a way to really say something that will remember that small little one. And I think that's the most important part, is in our memories, they weren't just a wisp of time or maybe a dream that didn't actually happen.
Right.
They were there, real, and the sorrow and as well as the joy is all wrapped up in such a precious gift, and you can share that with them. That is amazing. Thank you. Oh, what a heart-touching piece.
One of the things that I do, and it's one of the logos of Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep, is we give the parents a footprint of their baby on a little card that says, there is no footprint too small that it can't impact the world.
Wow. Is that one of your sayings, or is that part of this?
That's part of theirs, but I love it and I use it, and yes, and that's what I give to all my clients. And
that
it is
a beautiful thing.
There's no cost involved to the client.
Wow, what an interesting on-call experience. Very similar to, I would assume somebody who's in I can't think of the name right now. Right before you're going to pass, the nurses that are there at the end of life. I've lost the name.
Chaplain? No.
I can't think of the name, but I wanted to say respite, but that's not it.
Oh, hospice.
Hospice, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But right there, right in that time of before they're going to pass, it is such it's an incredible spiritual moment because you have this time that is so tender and precious, and pray that it's really filled with
Mhm.
such hope and light for
Yeah.
everyone.
And some of the
Wonderful.
babies, unfortunately, and I didn't mean to take this conversation a different route, but some of the babies, unfortunately, are stillborn or didn't make it out alive. And we still, the pictures, you'd have to look at the website to see how
Mm,
beautiful. And they do, they promote healing, so much
they
healing. So
do.
I'm sure there are some of your audience that has had
Mhm.
that happen. So that's just one of my heart things. On
I
top of
love it.
children's books.
I love your heart. You have such purpose. And tonight, the whole meaning is purpose, determination, a kind heart, which takes action to serve others. And when we are in the service of others, our light really shines. So let's get jumping right into the book. Can you tell us the title of your book and what it means?
I'll show it to you again. It's called
Yes.
Can a Cookie Change the World? And it is a true story. It's about Tessa, who is the true life protagonist here in our town. And she had an idea. She was about 7. She had an idea. She wanted to help the homeless. So she started collecting money out of jars. And I know her very well. She happens to be my goddaughter. And her parents are lifelong friends of my husband's and now mine. And anyway, she was so thoughtful and kind as a young girl and wanted to help. So she just worked. And just little things, a jar at a garage sale. And then she told her mom, I want to do something to help the homeless. And her mom says, well, would you give them something? And she was thinking, because she's a baker, I could make cookies. So it's not really a bake sale per se. She takes all these treats and people make a donation to that cause, and then they get to pick out what they want. So there's no cost, whatever they want to give to the donation. And then she just turns it all over to the cause. And her causes are sometimes nonprofit organizations. This past year, it was the Pioneer Home, which is the elderly, not retirement home, but nursing home, the state-owned one. And before that, I think was the Humane Society. She's done so many, and over 8 years, I think 8 or 9, I should have that number down, over $80,000. Started with the homeless and went on. And one of the things about my book, I wrote this book in 6 months, April, because Tessa's grandma had ALS. So I really wanted to get this book done because I was so inspired by Tessa and her story and how it was impacting our community, our whole town, and people way beyond Alaska. So I got it published right about April 16th, 18th, right in there. I should know the date. And Sandy died 29 days later. So we made it. And Angela said something to me. Angela is Tessa's mom. She said that was her last pure joy. That always makes me cry. So it's so important to follow through and do what we say we're going to do and just serve others. I am very much service above self. So that's what the book is about. So anyway, I'm very honored. The book is dedicated to Sandy, and 35% goes to ALS, TDI, to help find a cure for ALS, and 35% also goes to Kids Cookies for a Cause, Tessa's fundraiser.
Wow, that is amazing. This unbelievable, simple thing of serving someone else, where you put service above yourself, that is a true way that so many challenges that are happening right now in the world could really be overcome, as if we link arm in arm and push forward in a way that's actually helping and serving someone else. I think today so many of us are on the defense or looking out for, this blame or something like that, where what if we start looking out for just the well-being of others?
Mhm.
And in that service, I agree with what Weiwei says. She says a book for such a good cause Exactly. There's so much impact that can happen when we are thinking, I wonder what their needs are, as opposed to I messed up this, or I'm not enough, or I me. When we turn that out and look outward, so much more can happen. Now, Rhonda, I have a question for you that might feel a little off topic, but I'll bring it back, I hope. On your island, do you have lighthouses, or within that chain, are there lighthouses?
Yes, actually, there's Guard Island out in.
Hmm.
Actually, one of my friends has a good view of it. It's on the north end of the island. Our island actually has about 38 miles of road. That's it. So I'm on the south end. She's on the north end. We're maybe 20 miles apart. So, but there's only 30 miles total.
Got
But
it.
yeah, there's a beautiful lighthouse there, and I'm sure there's lighthouses other places, but that's the closest one.
That's the closest one. So, what I reference that to is thinking about a lighthouse. It's foundationally sound, it's reaching its light, not for itself. Oh, look at me, look at me. It's reaching out to truly help in times of, giving warning, in times of this is where you can come, this is where you can be guided. And as we go out and serve, think about all the light that is generated there. There is true purpose, there is determination that happens, and it's just filled with a kind heart. So some of my questions might be for this fictional character, even though it's based on someone true. How is her heart within this book?
Determination is number one on in my book. Oh my goodness, I actually say that after her first year she wanted to do it again, and because she was determined and she kept showing up and she was out there doing the right things, she had support. She grew support year after year after year. You should see that table now. When you come to the Christmas bazaar, people bring stuff from everywhere and add to her table. It is beautiful.
That is
Beautiful.
that just is that law of attraction, the things that when you serve your fellow being, you are in the service of your God. You are helping something so much more beyond than what you could possibly think for yourself.
Mhm.
So in this place where a lot of the people who I help, they've been in intense trauma, and whether it was physical, verbal, financial, or a combination of different things, when they finally become free or get out, it's very much this what do I do now? And we try to direct them into two places. First is into learning how to really start to share and process their story. That's a big part of the healing. But the next part is to completely do something opposite than thinking about themselves and the story. And it is to go out and to reach and to serve someone else. And it is such a change, but they get to see a perspective shift. And so in this, they start to see more than what maybe their perspective has been in such, closed off things. Trauma can really impact you in many different ways. And we find that when you are serving others, the healing process, it's almost like, triple time. It just starts this amplification because you want to actually do something beyond yourself. And the healing really just, it goes in, and it's such a beautiful thing. Oh, we've got some great people
There's
commenting
Catherine
tonight.
from Alaska.
Another fellow Alaskan. That is awesome. Thank you
Yeah,
so much
thank
for
you,
being
Catherine.
there and supporting. So, this whole story, you said, came about through this inspiration, and you wrote it in 6 months. So, I'm interested I mean, the story is incredible and the cause is amazing. I want to know, how do children respond to it?
Oh goodness, so that is so fun. I have read to almost 1,000 kids, including some in Austin, Texas, where you live. Yes, it was so fun. I got to go to 2 different schools there. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. Those kids, the one at the school up north, they said to me, and I remember the teacher's name, it was Mrs. Best. I'm trying to remember the name of the school. I've almost got it. They said to me when I was done reading, that was the best book I've ever heard. Do you know what that
Whoa.
does to a heart of a new author? Oh my goodness. And the teacher was in tears, you know. So that's what happens a lot of times, is that the kids love it and the teachers cry. Any adult in the room usually cries by the end. And it's not sad, it's happy. And I will just say that had I done it a little slower, I may have changed some things, because when I look through it again, I'm kind of like, well, I don't really like this page, or I'd redo that. But just please know, you guys, that I had a deadline to make, I had a goal to make it and get it done before Sandy passed away. So to me, that's priceless.
I think it is priceless. And regardless of how, sometimes when we go back to say, oh, I wonder if this could be better, I'm sure people that do Oscar winning performances might look at their performance and say, I wonder if I could have done better. The point is, the impact was there. You took the action, and look what's happening with the good. I think this is an important lesson, that sometimes we can get into that worry, but really when we take action and just go and do within the means that we have to make our best decisions at that time, good really happens. And I'm talking that deep good, not just the surface, oh, that's good. This is deep, impactful stuff. This is life-changing. Thinking about, I mean, we're in July. I'm sure people right now are planning stuff for what they're going to do for the bazaar in December. That is how many months away? That's incredible to think of how it all starts to impact. It's wonderful. It's such a great thing.
One of the things I do want to add, one of the things that I love too, besides the responses from the kids at the end, is literally while I'm reading, I can watch their faces wash with inspiration. If you've seen that, haven't you seen that? Just like, yes. And I can tell they're so inspired, and I'm just like, yes, this is what it's all about. And so doing that, and then I have a question time at the end asking them, can a cookie change the world? But I'm going to ask you the question at the end, just because there's just a few of us, and maybe as many people, or is it the heart? That's the real question. Is it the cookie, or is it the heart? So we have very good discussion about that at the end.
Wow. What are some of the responses that you hear?
I was so proud of one little boy. Everybody's like, oh yeah, it's a cookie. And then I said, and then is it the heart? And the one little boy, a lot of times it's half and half, but in this one class, everybody kind of went with the, oh yeah, a cookie can change the world. One little boy, no, it's the heart. And I was so proud of him because he stood alone. But I usually try to encourage them that the cookie is the tool and it's the heart. So It's a great question. It's so fun to ask them.
It is. It's this slice of just real hope and energy. I find our youth, our young children, our youth, so energized by something like this. It's like they are ready and prepared for it. So why not give more opportunities like that for everyone? So teachers out there, hold that book up again. If you want something to really inspire your classroom, if you want to see some intense change, even though you might not be meeting one-on-one or within a classroom setting because of our changing world, you might be reading this virtually or remotely, but look at the impact that they could have within their own family. Teachers, you have such a golden opportunity to reach right now with a book like this. And in preparing for lessons coming up, this is a wonderful opportunity. Parents, I also want to extend this out to you. And I'm so excited because we are going to be able to get a hold of this book and read through it, show so many wonderful things within our family. And there's 9 kids, and I'm going to have them listen to this book because I want to know, what are they thinking about? We've had such interesting, challenging kinds of things. Where is their heart? What are they thinking about? And I think this might be a fun way to kind of measure it. And if I see some things that might be like, looks like we could improve on that, that will give me a way to measure it without, doing a whole lot of observation or things like that. It's going to be a really fun experiment. So I'm excited. And then, of course, afterwards, we're going to make some cookies. I mean, why not?
That's one of the things I say to the kids is, next time you eat a cookie, remember this story. Remember this story and think about what you can do to change the world. So that's kind of how we're tying it in. I did want to tell you one other thing about the, oh, you were just saying something. Oh no, it left. It'll come back. But can I take a sidetrack really quick and talk about
Please
something?
do.
You were talking about your clients and the trauma that they've gone through. April, honestly, I've never known that in my life. And when I read your book, well, I didn't read it. I read part of it, but I listened to it on Audible. Oh my goodness, April. There was a point, and I've told you this, but I want to tell your people this. There was a point that I was driving down the road listening to this, and I was like going 40 in maybe a 25 or 30. And I was like, whoa, because I was trying to help you escape. It was so good. April, you did such a beautiful job. And thank you for teaching me about what your clients are going through. And oh, my heart was just broken for you. And I'm so proud of you for being such a survivor and a champion.
Oh, I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful thing. She's talking, referring to my book, my first book, Pinpoints of Light. Heck, I'll give one of these away tonight too. Why not? Why not? Yeah, it's our memoir of how we escaped abuse and the events that took place. But there's always a piece of hope, and that's something that we want to make sure that people are left with. And this hope is this light that we're talking about. And so, there's many opportunities to help. So tonight, where we've talked about great books, thinking about the tool like the cookie, but really measuring how our hearts can be. Is there something that you would like to share with our listeners tonight as we start to wrap this up?
I guess my real thing is everyone has a purpose. Absolutely, everyone has a purpose. I've asked some people, what are you passionate about? What are your joys and what do you love to do? Those are the gifts that God gave you to use to serve others. To me, that's exactly what that is. Some people may not see it that way, but absolutely, we are all so unique. We have a purpose. The mama, like you, going through what you went through and being able to use it to help others, to help them escape the abyss of abuse. You had no idea that was your purpose when you were going through that. You had no idea. So your purpose is out there. You need to find it. That is so important to help to delve into your heart, into your life, and say, what is my purpose? Because you do have one. You are unique. You are special. I cannot tell you the value that you have.
It is so important. When you know and understand what that value is, it goes right back into the opportunity of service because you want to share those things. In as much as you think it might bless your own life, when you actually give it away or serve with the gift and talent that you've been given, it is amplified even more. And so, I alluded to the lighthouse, and I have lots of them all around me.
Love it.
And the concept of the lighthouse, way back in the day, is just you take a simple 1-power candle, 1 power, 1 candle, and through lenses and mirrors, the amplification of that 1 candle can shoot out over 20 miles. 20 miles, sailors can see that from 1 candle. So obviously, if you add more candles or more power within, the amplification could reach hundreds of miles away. But that's just interesting. I feel like we're all at least minimum lit with 1 candle power. And so what do we do with that 1 candle power to shine out towards others? Is it your smile? Is it your gift of maybe language? Is it your opportunity that you have to think, plan? Maybe you're a fantastic organizer or a baker. Some people can craft with their body into dancing, or with their hands create wonderful works of art. There's so much, and the depth goes very deep. And some, you might think you're just a good listener.
Yeah.
Oh, that is true power right there.
Yeah. Even just writing an encouraging note to add to your list, that is a gift. An encouraging note that uplifts others, just a word of affirmation. Learn those love languages and see how people receive love. And that's a gift itself.
It is. It absolutely is. You have been so wonderful to enlighten us tonight and to remember that when we have our purpose, we can get this energy and determination to go forward, because it takes a kind heart, but it takes action. And within that action of service, we find and amplify light. And it's just truth. So again, everyone, thank you so much. Please hold up your book. We wanted to also announce that she is in the running for an Author Academy Award nomination. And these voting, we're collecting the votes currently right now up till July 31st at midnight. Then the voting stops. So please cast a vote, because if she gets a top 10 nomination, she moves into the big judging round. And that has an opportunity for a win and a championship on that book. This is not just for a personal accolade, but imagine if the book has that vetting with it. How many more teachers will pick it up? How many more school districts could possibly pick it up? How many more parents would pick it up? And then we see more support and more positivity towards the ALS Foundation, as well as
Kids Cookies for a Cause.
Kids Cookies for a Cause. I mean, a beautiful way to really help and serve so many people, because the cause is already there and attached. Beautiful things can happen. So please go out and vote for her. Everyone, you've been a joy to
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, please, go ahead.
So thank you if you vote for me. But honestly, so Donna Cowan, she was April's guest yesterday. I saved a vote for her. I saved one of my votes for her because her books are so good too. And she has worked so hard. So I don't think you can go wrong. I think you have lots and lots of great choices with the Author Academy Elite Authors. But yes, definitely check out Donna's books too, because my goodness, I love her heart.
She has a beautiful heart. So great. See, look at that. She's already thinking of others, how to pass on more of that voting to everyone. That is awesome. And Wei, thank you again for being such a wonderful participant. There is a purpose in our pain. The redemption is to bless others with our victory. What a beautiful saying. What a wonderful way to send us off for this. This has really been a wonderful evening. All of you have this opportunity now to truly reach out beyond yourself to know, how could you cast some light and serve someone even tonight? So that's the challenge I'd like to leave you with. If that is reading to maybe your kids tonight, just to take some time, a little extra special, write that letter of affirmation like Rhonda has suggested. Maybe cast some votes to some other authors out there. Maybe call mom, right? She's just waiting for a phone call. So there's so many wonderful things that can be done. Everyone, thank you. Let's send out this peace and light to all that we can. When we can interact that way, true goodness can happen. Action takes place, and things can change. Just like a cookie can change the world. It might be that tool, but wow, wonderful, wonderful way to do this. All right, everyone, it's been great, and thank you all, and we will talk to you tomorrow night.
Is
Bye,
that right?
everyone.